What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Seasons. This is episode number 6, and of course today we will be going for the Division 8 title, and we can get that with 2 wins from our last, 6 games we've got to go, so quite a lot of games to get those 2 wins in, and we should thoroughly get it. And for the first game we will choose Wales. Of course my opponent chose Wales in the last game, which means we get to choose Wales, and yeah, as I did say in that game as well, Wales don't have too many top quality players. They do have Gareth Bale, who I had on a right wing, and of course players like Aaron Ramsey is playing very well for Arsenal over the past year or so, and yeah, they got a decent side. Wales, not too bad, and we come against Ireland as well, so a bit of a clash here as the nations come together and we take on the Republic of Ireland. And the first chance would fall to us here as the Millwall goalkeeper David Ford threw the ball out wide and Bale intercepted James McLean. I thought I'm going to go for goal here on the half volley with Ford off his line, and how unlucky was that. What an amazing goal it would have been with Bale there, and unfortunately the ball went just over the bar and out for a goal kick. That would have been a really nice way to start the game off. But from the goal kick, Ford plays the ball out wide towards Seamus Coleman, the Everton right back, towards his Everton teammate Aidan McGeady. McGeady back to Coleman. Coleman gives the ball away. Neil Taylor finds Sam Vokes, back heels it to Jonathan Williams. Williams finds Allen. Quick little 1-2, and Williams, the Palace man, does score and make it Wales 1, Ireland 0. So the shot hit the underside of the bar, came down just over the line before bouncing out. Didn't really know how to celebrate, but Jonathan Williams makes it Wales 1, Ireland 0. So very good start. A nice little goal as well, a couple of decent passes, and a really good finish by Jonathan Williams, who you did see I did decide to put into this Wales starting 11. He was on the bench, I think it was, and I do actually rate Jonathan Williams. He's a really young player with a lot of talent, and he made it 1-0. And in the 18th minute, a great chance for us again here. Sam Vokes on the ball, chips it forward towards Williams. Great chance to double his advantage, 1-on-1. Ford makes the save just, and as my opponent fails to get the ball away, he comes back to Williams, he strikes it, and the ball goes just over the bar and out for a goal kick. So Williams really was the danger man in this game, playing very well, and it was 1-0. And in the 35th minute, another great chance for us here. Joe Allen finds Sam Vokes, offloads it to Williams. Williams skips around John O'Shea, keeps on going. Lovely little run by Williams, and I was just playing so well with the guys. I finished the chance to get his second goal and make it Wales 2, Ireland 0. And he was just a real handful for my opponent. You know, every time I got the ball on his feet, I felt like I was going to create something, and that made it 2-0. So Wales 2, Ireland 0, and I was on course for another 3 points here. I don't really like to say that, you know, when there's so much of the game to go, but my opponent wasn't playing very well, and I was looking very strong. So Wales 2, Ireland 0, and in the 41st minute we're on the ball again with Sam Vokes finding Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey finds Neil Taylor. Taylor, the Swansea left back, plays the Aaron Ramsey through. Great chance for the Arsenal man. He rounds David Ford with the fake shot, and we just dragged the ball into the empty goal. So Wales 3, Ireland 0, and Gareth Bale, in, you know, other than the one shot which went just onto the roof of the net, had done nothing in this entire game, and we were 3-0 up. And Bale's the superstar for Wales, you know, and he done absolutely nothing. And we would make it 4-0 here on the stroke of half time. I didn't actually realise before I went 1-on-1, but my opponent had dropped the controller, and we did score the goal there with Sam Vokes and made it 4-0. But it was actually kind of annoying because my opponent, he'd sort of like dropped the controller, yet sometimes he'd play, as you can see in the second half. Like, there were certain parts he'd play and there were certain parts he wouldn't, so I didn't really understand why that was. But as Ramsey chipped the ball forward towards Bale here, his shot on the volley hit the bar and was eventually cleared away by my opponent, who, again, I don't really understand why, but he seemed to play some parts of the game and not others. But, you know, it showed in this game as we won it by 4-0. You know, who needs Gareth Bale? You know, seriously, Jonathan Williams clearly the main man for Wales on the basis of this performance, and a very good victory, and again a thoroughly deserving one. My opponent again was kind of frustrating. He dropped the controller towards the latter stage of the first half, and then in the second half he played some parts and didn't play the others, and we convincingly won by 4-0, which is annoying. You know, I would have actually preferred he quit the game rather than just drop the controller, because there's nothing I can do. Yeah, I can score like 6 or 7 goals if I want, but there's no point really. So even so, he won the game by 4-0. 2 from Williams, 1 from Ramsey, and 1 from Sam Vokes. None from Gareth Bale, didn't even get an assist, and we won the game by 4-0. And in the following game, I would indeed choose Ireland, obviously, as my opponent were Ireland in the last game, and I used Kieran Westwood in goal ahead of David Ford, because Ford only has 65 kicking. As a Millwall fan, I do not understand why the hell that is. Ford's distribution is one of the best assets of his game. That's ridiculous, but still, yeah, Westwood came with a Ford, and of course Ireland do have a 5-star skiller, don't forget, in Aidan McGeady down the right hand side, so I was looking forward to using him. And my opponent was Newcastle United, so we took on Newcastle, and I was wondering whether my opponent could manage his side better than Alan Pardew's currently doing, and he did almost take the lead there through Jack Colback, but his shot was saved by the goalkeeper Westwood, and we went on the break. Robbie Keane came forward, great chance for the veteran striker, but I'm denied by Tim Krul, and James McLean's shot goes over the bar and out for a goal kick. So good early chances for both sides, and in the games I've played, you know, most opponents have sort of sat back a lot of the time and just sort of let me attack on them, but in this game my opponent was coming forward a little bit, but it was me again, you know, with the lion's share of the chances. I had a lot more opportunities than he did, and I should have scored there again with Robbie Keane, but I missed another great chance. And in the 33rd minute I get the ball forward here with Seamus Coleman finding Glenn Whelan. Whelan finds Aidan McGeady, good chance for a skill run down this right hand side, nice little elastico chop, we keep on going, good opportunity, quick little McGeady spin doing his trademark skill there, gets himself inside, but the shot goes wide and out for a goal kick. So still Newcastle 0, Ireland 0, but again most of the chances coming to me, but my opponent was, you know, trying to attack, he just wasn't really getting the final ball right, if you know what I mean. He was getting forward, but the distribution in the latter stages were really poor. But as you see McGeady get on the ball here, another great chance, couple of nice skill moves, Berber spin, scoop turn, great chance with the Ronaldo chop, gets himself inside. Am I going to finish this time? Unfortunately not, because the shot is blocked and turned behind for a corner. So unbelievably at half time it was still 0-0 despite all the opportunities really, but straight from kick-off really in the second half my opponent gave the ball away. We chip the ball forward towards Robbie Keane, who takes on Mike Williamson. He's got the pace, he beats him with a double step over, and this time we're not going to miss. The LA Galaxy man makes it Newcastle 0, Republic of Ireland 1, and finally we take the lead after so many opportunities. I was disappointed at half time it was still scoreless, but eventually I knew we'd get the breakthrough, and we did through Robbie Keane. So Newcastle 0, Ireland 1, and just a few minutes later my opponent, you know, his defence had sort of gone to pieces after that, and as I played a quick 1-2 here, James McLean was through, great chance for 2-0, ball roll, it was a ball roll stop I think it was, or a ball roll fake I think it's called. We chip the ball inside and Robbie Keane makes it 2-0. So simple finish there. I actually tried to Rabona the ball with James McLean, so it turned out to be a simple cross, but still Robbie Keane heads it in, gets his second goal of the game, and it's Newcastle 0, Ireland 2. And Sissoko broke through for my opponent here, but his shot was well saved by Kieran Westwood, and we got the ball away. A good chance on the break as well. As James McCarthy and Robbie Keane play a quick 1-2. McCarthy turns Mike Williamson. Great chance to make it Newcastle 0, Ireland 3, which surely we're going to do. Unfortunately not. The shot is blocked and turned away by my opponent. But that was how the game would finish. A 2-0 victory to the Republic of Ireland. You know, should have scored more goals is my negative side to take out of that one. Yes, getting the win was nice, but you know, we should have scored a lot more goals really. But we won the game, which meant of course because we got 6 points from the 2 games we just played, that meant we did indeed go up as Division winners, and we are through to Division 7 as Division 8 title winners. So very pleased with that. Perfect record, 5 wins out of 5, which you would have expected really, but even so you got to do it. You know, you may expect to win those games, but you still got to do them regardless. And yeah, we got the win, and I'm very pleased. So for the following game we'll be Newcastle United. I put them in their classic kit, which as you'll see was the wrong thing to do because there was a bit of a clash, not too much of one, but a little bit of a clash for the team I was going to face. And as you can see, Newcastle of course under Alan Pardew not really doing very well at all this year, looking very subpar and in a bit of a crisis, to be honest. I don't like to say that, but they are in a bit of a crisis really, and as you can see because of that so many of their players are currently out of form, which is kind of annoying. But even so I changed the team around, played a 4-5-1, which I got to admit I really like as a formation on this year's FIFA. I used it last year as well in my World Cup series with the Asian Confederation, really awesome formation, and it's good this year as well. And as you see my opponent chose Everton, so a Premier League clash here at St James's Park, and as you'll see because Everton were in their home shirt, their blue shirts, this was not really the best in terms of kit differentiation. It's kind of similar, you know, it was kind of hard to sort of you know, see which team was which really, and which player belonged to which team. It wasn't too bad, you know, I could see what I was doing, but it wasn't the best really. I should have put them in their black and white kit, to be honest, but still, the first chance did fall to my opponent. His shot was well saved by Tim Krul, and then I had a chance in the 23rd minute, but Remy Cabea's shot was also saved by Tim Howard. So 2 good saves by our goalkeepers there, and it's still 0-0. And in the 45th minute, Papi Cisse goes through 1-on-1, great chance to make it 1-0, but again, it's a great save by Tim Howard, the American, who turns it behind and keeps the score scoreless as we went into the half-time break. And in the 49th minute here, you see us get the ball away. Sissoko loses it though. This down plays the ball out wide towards Ross Barkley, who shoots. It's blocked. We give the ball away. Barkley collects it and hits the post. So my opponent was actually playing really well in this game, looking very strong. As Barkley hits the post there, he almost made it 1-0. But from that, we went on the break. Papi Cisse played a 1-2 of Remy Cabea. He goes through the centre here after he beats Sylvain Distin for pace. Goes through 1-on-1. Is he going to finish? Yes, he is. You never really know. As a Newcastle, I'm sure any Newcastle fan will tell you this. I'm not a Newcastle fan, but I'm sure any Newcastle fan will tell you this. You never know what Papi Cisse you're going to get when you see Newcastle playing. Sometimes he plays well, sometimes he's absolutely terrible, and I thought the same would happen in the game as well. Maybe I'd have a bit of a bad Papi Cisse in this game, or maybe he'd be the striker he first was when he first came to Newcastle, very, very deadly, and he scored there to make it 1-0, but the less said about this the better. Not entirely sure what I was doing with Tim Krul there. Tried to pass the ball away and out for a throw in just because I was under pressure there. I didn't want to hoof it into the crowded bodies, and instead it went straight to PNR, who put it into the empty net. So Newcastle 1, Everton 1. My mistake, obviously, but I'm not entirely sure why it didn't go out of play and instead right into the centre of the area. So 1-1, my opponent's back on level terms, but in the 83rd minute we would indeed score what would surely prove to be the winner. Yohan Gouffran got the goal, and what a finish it was. Nice little build up, couple of nice passes, and Gouffran down the right hand side blasts it past Tim Howard and makes it Newcastle 2, Everton 1 as we retake the lead. And you know, to be honest, in this game it could have gone either way. You'll see the stats in just a moment. It was quite balanced, and my opponent will say he deserved to win it because he had more shots, but most of his shots did come from outside the area as Tim Krul makes a really great save there in injury time to keep it at 2-1. But to be honest, I would say, you know, based on the amount of shots that were taken by him, you know, even though most of his came from outside the area, and you know, I thought I played quite well as well. This game was on a knife edge. It could have gone either way. I think a draw would have been a fair result personally. It's the first game in a long time I've played where my opponent's been very strong, but we would indeed hold on for a 2-1 victory. So I think a draw would have been a fair result, but it's important to get the win, and I'm glad I did. And that is the first 3 points of the new division, Division 7, off and up and running. So as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like because it's much appreciated and really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Seasons very soon.